Well, hello everyone again, and thank you for joining us with Certified American Grown for Farmer Fridays. We're joined today by Fred and Marcos van Wingerden with Pyramid Flowers down in beautiful Southern California. How's it going today, guys?
We'd love more sun, but we'll take what we can get.
Well, a little bit of sunshine in California is always a good thing, but it sure looks like you've got a beautiful setup there in the greenhouses today. How are things going with the growing season so far for y'all?
Well, the whole summer actually has been quite overcast. It's kind of been a strange year weather-wise, but we've adjusted well, and crops are coming off as scheduled, so we can't complain.
Good, good. Well, tell us a little bit about Pyramid Flowers, where you're located, and what y'all grow.
Pyramid Flowers was started actually 30 years ago this coming month. And we are in Oxnard, California. We encompass about 18 acres of greenhouses and about 60 or 50, 60 acres of open fields and hoops. And we primarily grow Gerbera daisies, lilies, ranunculus, freesias, sunflowers, aster matsumotos, and some status, and a few other miscellaneous crops, a little bit of delphinium. But we're here in a Gerbera greenhouse, and these are all grown for bouquets. We are actually a supplier to supermarkets through bouquets, and everything we grow for the most part is used for the bouquets. So what you see here is all going to the bouquets, and some of these bouquets you'll find in your favorite West Coast supermarkets. We don't go to the East Coast, so we pretty much stay on the West Coast.
Fantastic.
And Marcos, he's my production manager, and maybe he can go through a little bit of what we do here in the Gerberas to give you kind of an insight on what it takes to grow Gerberas.
That'd be great. We would love to be able to share that with folks. So, Marcos, love to hear what you got going on.
So let's see, I started here at Pyramid Flowers working with my dad about 9 years ago now. My previous experience was pest control advisor for vegetable crops in Santa Maria, California. After graduating Cal Poly, I became a pest control advisor, and I worked in-house for a large vegetable operation, and decided to come and ask Pyramid for a job. And so here I am, 9 years into it. Been an interesting experience learning how to grow, because I was really primarily around insect control in vegetables and making recommendations. I'm also working by myself daily. Now I'm responsible for over 70 employees and about 70 acres. And I didn't know anything about flowers really until I came here. I didn't grow up necessarily learning that much about the growing operations. But being hands-on, working every day here, I've learned about insect control in this crop, about nutrition, a lot about climate and greenhouse controls, which is completely new, but very fun and exciting. So yeah, the hydroponic Gerbera daisies are like a 3 to 4 year crop, and we grow in coconut core. The plants start from tissue culture, and they produce about a stem or more a week. And we've got about 25,000 plants to the acre, and a total of 8 acres of hydroponics.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about the hydroponics. Are there benefits to growing that way, or what's the rationale for kind of deciding to do hydroponics?
Sure. So years ago, probably 30 years ago, almost all Gerberas were grown in the soil. When you grow in the soil, you're more susceptible to diseases, soil-borne diseases. Also, you have a less controlled environment. So if you grow in the ground outside, you obviously don't have the structure of a greenhouse where you can control humidity, the climate, So growing hydroponically and in substrate, you can control your nutrition 100%. You can control all your drain water. So all the water that's irrigated inside the crop is recycled into the crop again, with fresh water, and the other half being recycled water, which we have to sterilize with chlorine dioxide. Or I'm sorry, we just use chlorine. We used to use chlorine dioxide. So you get a longer life out of the crop. You get more yield. You can control the shading, the ventilation, the whole climate. So you can also put biological insects, biological controls to control bad insects. And in the outdoor environment, growing in the ground in the soil is much more difficult. So you just have a lot more controls that you wouldn't otherwise.
Well, and it sounds like a really great sustainable way of approaching production and growing a beautiful crop. So you both are members of and supporters of Certified American Grown. Why do you feel like Certified American Grown is an important organization to be a part of and a champion for?
I'll answer that one. Certified American Grown, of course, represents the American growers. And since, they're the percentage of flowers used in this country is only about 20% of total use are actually grown in the United States, the rest are imported. It's important that we put out to the public who we are and to give them a choice to buy sustainably homegrown products. And by having a Certified American Grown label on our products, it gives the consumers a choice to support American growers. So it's extremely important to our industry to have this label and to have this organization.
Well, and I think what you have put together and what you've already just shared in the few brief minutes that we've been together today is really an important story for people to realize. I mean, you've had the farm in operation for 30 years. You have a number of families. You're multi-generational, and you have a number of families that you work with in terms of the crews, and that impact both on our communities and our society is really positive and something that is and should be shared greatly. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and happy early anniversary, I suppose, as well. So, Fred, you are involved with our policy program with Certified American Grown as well, and we've got a couple of bills that are before Congress for consideration. Would you like to touch on those?
Yeah, well, the first bill that we have in front of Congress is the oh, you caught me off guard, actually.
Sorry, the American Grown Act is
Certified American Grown Act, which
yes.
Would basically put American grown flowers in our government buildings in DC.
Right.
And have to buy American grown flowers. Just by doing that, it would signify support for the American growers. It's extremely important.
Agreed. Our federal government should be supporting our homegrown production for sure.
I think so. That's we're all about keep the production here in America and support American production, whether it's goods or agriculture goods. But this would go a long way to show support for our industry.
Well, and there's many ways for people to get involved in that for our fellow farms and our domestic growers across the country, whether they be for cut flowers or foliage. They can log on to americangrownflowers.org and sign up and sign on their support, or they can general consumers and flower fanatics, florists, designers, retailers. We encourage anyone and everyone to sign on and support the work that you all are doing, and encourage their members of Congress to sign on and support as well. So the importance of having a federal platform, as you mentioned, can't be understated. And you've participated in different events, whether it be visiting DC proper or flying in virtually during COVID pandemic times. Do you think it's important for growers to participate and be involved in making sure that their voices are heard?
Always. If you don't make your voices heard, nobody will listen, or nobody will hear you. Sometimes it does fall on deaf ears, but the more times they hear our story and the more time we put our story in front of them, the more impact it's going to have long term. So it's much like anything else we do in life. You got to go at it, with 100% or more, or you're not going to be successful. And in this effort, we need to be successful and we need to have results.
Yep, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, as our consumers and our designers and fans are going out there and looking for Pyramid Flowers products, you mentioned some of the grocery stores in the Western U.S. What stores can folks go to, or where should people go to source the bounty that you grow there at Pyramid?
You can find it at your Ralph's, your Vaughn's, your Whole Foods, your Trader Joe's, the Stater Brothers, Kroger's. The list goes on.
Great.
We're in most supermarkets, but once again on the West Coast.
Sure. Well, and I know these are things that that we really encourage folks to always look for the certified American grown seal. It's an important piece for ensuring that we've got great support for the work that you all are doing. I'd love to just open in the last couple of minutes, kind of open if you have some additional thoughts that either of you would like to share, or things that you feel that our industry and community or those who support American grown flowers should know and like to hear about.
Well, I think it's important sourcing flowers locally. For being West Coast, we have a less carbon footprint. A lot of people talk about, saving the environment, and everyone has their opinions on that. But nonetheless, growing here locally and domestically is the best way you can support your environment. We don't have old product coming. Also, South American product is being shipped to long distances. It's being trucked across from East Coast to the West Coast. And if you can produce here and we have a great climate, and we can stay in business and people can support us, then that goes a long way for everything. Gives us jobs and fresher flowers too.
Yeah,
Quality.
absolutely. Well,
And
I hear.
I want to state also that growing in California, we're under the most stringent rules of protection, chemical use, anything else, the labor use, everything that we do, we're under extreme regulation. So we're actually, our footprint is more sustainable than anywhere else in the world. And I just want the public to know that we're doing everything in our power, but we really hope that, we'll have the support of the consumer for the certified American grown label and products.
Well, and of course, support of Pyramid Flowers, because you both have invested a great deal of your life into being farmers. And I guess closing notes, what do you love about being a farmer?
Well, for me, it's the start to finish. So starting from nothing with a small crop and then seeing them harvest. Harvest is by far the most exciting part. Behind me, they're harvesting, and just makes my day to see the product come and know that we're hitting our numbers and our quality is there. We have as much supply as we can at the moment, and so that's exciting for me, as a start to finish, completing.
Sure.
Insect free, damage free.
And for me as the owner, we're growing a beautiful product. Flowers. Everybody's happy with flowers. You never find anybody that isn't happy with flowers. But I also really enjoy the relationship parts. The suppliers of products to our company, our employees, and our customers that we do business with. It's extremely important to have a very good platform and a very good relationship with all your relationships that you have. And I'm very proud of where we are in that world. So, and it gives me the energy to keep going and going.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a true testament to the hard work, the time, energy, and obviously the passion that you put into doing exactly that, bringing joy to people by putting a beautiful product in your flowers on our tables, in our homes, offices, restaurants, wherever it may be, every day of our lives. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for making an impact on so many lives, and we really appreciate you both spending some time with us today. So Fred, Marcos, thank you again. Best wishes to you both.
Thanks so much. All righty. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.